Let's talk about the one skill that can literally change everything in your life. I'm talking about the power of decision making. We're going to dive into some incredible insights from Tony Robbins and figure out how you can use this skill to finally get unstuck and start building the life you really want. So let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself. Do you ever feel stuck? You know that feeling, right? Maybe it's a dead-end job, a relationship that's just not working anymore, or maybe it's just this general feeling of being, well, stuck in life, totally unable to move forward. Look, if that sounds familiar, I want you to know you are absolutely not alone. It's one of the most common things people feel. And when you dig down, what's really at the root of it? It's fear, isn't it? Fear of making the wrong choice, fear of the unknown, fear of not being perfect. But here's the good news. There is a way through it. All right, so let's get into the first big idea here, this foundational mindset shift. And it's a game changer. The idea is this: your life isn't actually defined by your circumstances. Nope. It's defined by the choices you make within those circumstances. Think about it like this. Your conditions, your background, how much money you have, your past, that's just the landscape. It's the terrain. But your decisions, man, those are the tools you use to carve out your own path right through it. That is where your real power is. And here's the thing. Decision-making isn't some talent you're born with. It's a muscle. And just like any other muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. I'm talking even on small stuff, like what to have for dinner. Every little choice flexes that muscle, getting you ready for the big, life-changing ones. And this is exactly why not deciding is so dangerous. It's the absolute worst decision you can make. Why? Because indecision leaves you powerless. It keeps you stuck right where you are. Even making a so-called wrong choice gives you feedback. It gives you momentum. Inaction, it gives you absolutely nothing. Okay, let me give you a really powerful example of this in action. It's a story about General Norman Schwarzkopf at the Pentagon. Get this, for over a decade, the Pentagon was basically paralyzed. They couldn't make this one critical strategic decision because the arguments for both sides were just equally strong. Total gridlock. So the general comes in, listens to both sides for just 40 minutes, and then he makes the call. Just like that. And when someone asked him, how can you possibly know that's the right answer? His response was classic. He said this, and that's the whole point, isn't it? Taking action gives you clarity way faster than just analyzing something to death. Okay, so if action is the key, how do we actually make a decision that leads to action? One that really sticks and we don't back out of? Well, it turns out it's not just a single moment. It's actually a 3-stage process that takes you from a simple thought all the way to committed action. But first, we have to really get what the word decision even means. It's pretty cool, actually. It comes from the Latin word inciso, which literally means to cut off from. So when you make a real decision, you're cutting off every other possibility. You're committing to one path and one path only. So here's how that 3-stage process breaks down. Step 1, you decide. You cut off all the other options. No more what-ifs. Step 2, you commit. This means you take immediate action to lock it in. You book the flight, you enroll on the class, you make the call. And step 3, you resolve. This is a mental state. You reach a point of absolute certainty where, in your mind, it's already a done deal. There's this amazing old saying that just perfectly captures that first step, right? As long as your brain sees an escape hatch, a way to retreat, it'll probably take it when things get tough. Burning the boats? Well, that removes the option of going back. It forces you to find a way forward, period. Okay, that's great for some decisions, but what about those really big, complex ones? The ones that give you knots in your stomach and just feel overwhelming. When those 3 stages feel like too much, you need a system. So let's break down this awesome tool called the OCEMR framework. It's designed specifically for those high-stakes choices. But before you even touch the framework, you have to do this one thing first. It's non-negotiable. Get it out of your head and onto paper. That feeling of overwhelm, it happens because you're juggling way too many variables in your mind. The second you write it all down, things slow down and you get this incredible sense of clarity. Seriously, try it. So think of this framework as a structured workout for your decision-making muscle. It's super logical. First, the O is for outcomes. Get crystal clear on what you actually want. Next, the second O is for options. Brainstorm at least 3 of them. Then C for consequences. Weigh the upsides and downsides of each option. E is for evaluate. What's the probability of those consequences actually happening? M is for mitigate. How can you reduce the potential downsides? And finally, R for resolve. With all that clarity, you can make that final committed choice. So when you put all of this together, the mindset shift, those 3 stages of a real decision, and this powerful system, it really all boils down to one ultimate choice, a choice you have to make every single day. And that choice is this. Which one are you going to be? Are you going to be a manager of circumstance? Someone who just reacts to life, who's always just trying to survive, feeling like things are always happening to them? Or are you going to be a creator of your life? Someone who uses this power of decision to actively shape their own world? Let me tell you, managing just leads to misery. Creating, that leads to growth and real fulfillment. So here's my challenge to you. Don't just listen to this and move on. Apply it right now. What is one decision, I don't care if it's big or small, that you've been putting off? What is one choice you can make today to start flexing that muscle and creating the life you actually want?